assembly, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, General Guillo, General Richardson. Great to see both of you. General Richardson, yesterday we were talking a little bit about Haiti and the situation on the ground being chaotic, gangs running rampant in their capital. And this week, the Prime Minister of Haiti announced he would resign, and then Kenya paused the agreement to send 1,000 police officers until a new government would be put into place. Southcom has successfully airlifted embassy staff out of the country, but a number of Americans still remain in Haiti, and some may be looking to leave. Some are concerned that the U.S. has not initiated a non-combatant evacuation order, a NEO, to get Americans out of Haiti. General, have you been tasked to operate an evacuation?
So, Senator, as part of the wide range of contingency plans that U.S. Southcom has, we are ready for a NEO activation if required, and have other plans ready to go, as we always do, and keep those plans refreshed over and over. So we're ready at any time for any type of crisis.
And are you doing, so you say you're ready now, but are there any additional preparations in the event that this becomes a necessity?
I think the two missions of increasing the security at the embassy and a little bit of my capability as well, expanding that, is the platform that we would use if we need to expand from there. And so we put in all of the necessary measures and that are necessary for any of the plans to be activated. So it would be true to say that there's mission planning currently underway in case you have to do this? Senator, we always do mission planning in the military, so absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you, General. General Guillo, just on Monday morning, I got back from a trip to the Arctic where I was able to see firsthand some of the efforts by the Navy to pursue our Arctic strategic objectives. And the Arctic is an area of concern and a great example of the intersection between defense policies, climate, and strategic partnerships. Melting ice is making the Arctic more accessible to everyone, including Russia and China. It's rich with oil, minerals, fishing, other natural resources, and we have to ensure that a free and peaceful Arctic benefits the United States and our partners and allies. Russia seeks to use the Arctic as a staging ground for power projection, in addition to its being a critical defense and deterrent for their homeland. But they also seek to control the region. We've made real progress in combating Russian influence in the Arctic over the last year, with Finland and Sweden joining NATO. Now every country with a border on the Arctic is part of NATO, with the exception of Russia. And we must not miss this opportunity to advance our interests in the Arctic while Russia is focusing on their illegal and brutal invasion of Ukraine. General Guillo, I'd like to hear in more detail what you think the U.S. and NATO strategy should look like in the Arctic.
Senator, first, thanks for visiting our forces up there during ice camp. As you alluded to, it's an extremely important operation that demonstrates our capability up there with the submarines and the LC-130s and all the other aircraft and forces. As far as what we could do or should do with NATO in the Arctic, you described exercises that we're doing on the, I'll call the Alaska side, or the 10 o'clock approach. We've also had some success working with NATO and European Command on the 2 o'clock, the Northeast approach. Just last week, for the first time in over 2 years, the Russians sent 2 Bear bombers down along that avenue through what we call the GEI-UK gap, Greenland, Iceland, and the United Kingdom, approaching the Canadian and the United States air defense identification zones. Haven't seen this activity in over 2 years. We were able to track them the entire time thanks to the radar network and the information sharing between countries within EUCOM. Norway is one that I'll point out, and Northern Command. So we were able to track this activity.
What range were you able to intercept them at?
Senator, we didn't have to intercept them because we had aircraft flying to the point where we would intercept them before they crossed the identification zone, and the Russians turned around prior to reaching that zone. So we had aircraft, both Canadian and U.S. fighters, postured along the line, which I think is probably disheartening to the Russians to fly all that way to find out that we're waiting for them.
Have you
And
seen?
that's due to NATO cooperation.
So the Russians are pretty good operating in the Arctic. Have you seen advancements by the Chinese?
What I've seen, Senator, is a willingness and a desire by the Chinese to act up there. We've seen them in the maritime. We've seen them under the cloud of a technical or scientific research, but we think it's certainly multi-mission to include military. And then I expect to see air activity in the Alaska part of the Arctic as soon as this year, potentially. It's a very big concern of mine.
All right. Thank you, General.
Thank you, Senator Kelly. Senator Rounds, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Guillaume, General Richardson, first of all,